What's really good, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen? It's the OG, buddy. Oh, whoa, my bad. Go. You know what, Emma? It's not the OG Boricua Don Dada. It is not. When we jump on here, like I said before, this is called Chilling with Emma. So, Emma, you do your thing. You're the Batman. I'm Robin, or you're Batgirl, and I'm Batwing. Whatever, however that pair matches up, is you're the top person. How we start this?
I'm the top person. Thank you very much. I'm Harley Quinn. Okay, so
Oh,
are you the Joker?
yes. Listen, if you walk to my room, I mean, obviously you could tell, right? So it's Joker, Harley Quinn, everything. Um, Harley Quinn is the. I mean, she's got to be the greatest villain,
Like,
villainess, villainess, right? Like such
yes.
great dynamic, such great character. So we have the Queen of Crime here. Um, what are we doing? What are we jumping into? I'm excited. I we miss these a lot of craziness in scheduling. You know, we're humans. You know, it happens. But you take over, and I'll just be the co-pilot.
Oh wow, you did this to me last time, and I saw that comment on our YouTube going. I don't know who the guy was going. Rob, please read the cards. And I was like, yeah, I asked for that because every time I do interview high level fighters, UFC fighters, and I can't pronounce many of their names. And so I do admit to that. So, like that comment, I was like, yeah, that's all on me. You know, I was reading off the press release like
Yeah.
you had, but also I had not even read it, so I knew exactly what we was talking about. But however, it turned out pretty well because, like, you know, the one from Love Island with Aaron Chambers, I said to you, he's from Love Island. And
Yeah.
then we're reading down and it went, yeah, 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 Love Island. You know, so it's not like I don't know my shit. It's just I cannot pronounce many names. So,
I
if you,
butcher them too.
but if you want to do that in the comments, I'm all for it because I just laugh. Like, if you see my TikTok, it's like me trying to pronounce.
It is. It
You
is.
have you ever seen my TikToks like the UFC series I did, right?
Yep.
And I'm trying to to say these names, but I just think that adds more character for me, um,
Absolutely.
and shows my character. So
Listen,
I just wanted to say that whoever wrote that comment, I totally agree with you. Like I said, that was all on me.
but
Uh,
they subbed, but they subscribed.
that wow, then
It worked.
yes, it's laughable, and that is what we want:
Yep.
fun content. We don't
Absolutely.
want, okay. Last time I started off really serious with the
Yeah. Yeah.
right, okay, one off because that doesn't really roll into what we do, but because I'm so passionate about it, I really just had to speak about it. And also, you know, you had your own opinions,
Absolutely.
which were great on that. But that said, we are back to bare knuckle. And Christine Ferreira, she is she and Jules. I spoke with Jules like about 6 years ago
Wow.
on Facebook, right? When I was like, what have I been doing? It's 14 years, right? And I was looking for female fighters. And she messaged me going, oh, I got a bunch. And then Jules is really, really fucking cool because I was like, okay, I can't schedule it this time. I haven't got this free, but I will hit you back. She was, yeah, chick, no worries. And then when I was reposting like Jules' stuff and Christine's stuff, Christine followed me and like I had to screenshot it and send you because Fangirl here has always been a fan of Christine Ferrea. She is a beast in that square.com, but she is a human and she is humble and she has no chip on her shoulder and no ego. And I absolutely fucking love that.
One of the coolest things I seen. Now I know you were team Ferrea, I was team Borga. First off, I love both of these women. They're both badass women, right? Like you don't get into these fights if you're from the faint-hearted. This is not what this is built for. So they went back and forth at each other, talking a lot of shit.
Yeah. That was quite funny about the stuff in your mouth that Borga, that Christine come out with without saying exactly what it was.
But the thing was though, out of all that crazy shit they talked to each other, Christine Ferrea that night went to the hospital to go check on Jessica Borga. And I don't think a lot of people even understand the level of respect that comes with that, right? These women just went and put the beats to them, right? Like, and she made sure she was okay. If I did not like, and I love Christina Ferrea, I think she's one of the best bare knuckle fighters I've ever seen in my life. If I wasn't a fan of her before she did that, I'm automatically a fan after that because that's all class, right? Like going into that, they took the pictures, they were both smiling, they both had nothing but respect. The next day, I think your girl Jules was in the car with Christina Ferrea. I don't know if you've seen that.
They're in Italy. It's in Rome.
And she said something like, you should say thank you to Jessica. She gave you matching eyeshadow, right? Because she had the two big black eyes. Yeah. Yo, dude, I was dying with that because you could see Ferrea was like, yeah, she did, right? Like, all right, cool, that's what we're doing. But you could see the level of respect they have for the fight and everything. And I was like, yo, this is so dope.
See, I saw that picture of Ferrea with Borga and Jules in the hospital. And I think I'm going to repost that because more people actually need to see that side of Christine. Not that they don't know it, that, the Ferrea fans and Jules fans, but I think they, now that bare knuckle is actually making it, in this world, just like UFC, it needs to be shown that these females are kind of not like the males when they don't like each other and they have to press conferences and they go in at each other, then they have to fight, but they're still enemies, to me. That's not how it is. Say what you want within reason at the press conference without stepping over the line into family and whatever.
Yeah.
And then duke it out in the squared octagon and then shake hands. And, and what Christine does, she went above and beyond what any other fighter that has been shown on social media, because I've not seen another fighter that has had a war like that. I mean, I had to repost the punch that Ferrea gave Borga. Moved her nose to the other side of her face with one punch. And I mean, that was just, oh my gosh. I mean, when Christine followed me, like I said, I screenshotted you. I'm like, I'm really fangirling. I've been a fan forever. She has like 130k followers. Um, she's decided to follow me, and the stuff I put up, some of it she's put thanked Emma, and I'm just like, Christine, Rome is not ready for what you have, which
Yeah.
which I put to her. Um, we also got Chris Camozzi on that card, and
Yep.
I love Camozzi. I loved him in the UFC, and I love what he's doing with the bare knuckle. And his partner, Whitney Johns, she is so freaking amazing.
She's funny too.
She has her own sports nutrition stuff. She's a PT.
Yep.
She's been in this a while. She has these new have you seen, like, everything comes from your gut, from
Yep.
the inside
Yep.
out? She has made a straw that has probiotics and everything in it that you just put in water, then you stir and you drink. Now, when that first came out, I messaged Whitney and I was like, please, I want them. And she's like, they are not available in the UK.
Oh,
So, my friend, will you please buy some and send me them?
I'll look. I'll look for it for sure because
They're like in Target and other places like that. Um, it's only because of the FDA or
okay.
whatever. For the UK is different to to the US. But if you can send me some, then I can have my good gut health and give Whitney a great review from the UK. I mean, obviously, I'll send you the dollar. You, you
Yeah,
know,
no. When I didn't know if it was like something that you had to buy on like an online shop from her. I didn't know it was in Target already because when she was I think they did Battle for the Border in Ice Wars, her and Kamosi, and she had like Nick and Will and some of the guys take pictures product, help it, get traction, get some
yeah, yeah,
eyes on it. And I was like, oh, this is super. I asked. They said, oh, it's not out yet, but obviously that's months ago that event happened, was a while ago. So to know it's in Target now, I definitely, because I want to mess with
I
it,
think
because
it's
from
Target,
the way they had.
but they are on her website,
Okay.
and she has good deals on her website for it.
Okay.
I think they reduced some. She had reduced in price, to market it, but you had to have a US zip code, and
Yeah.
I was like, so bummed about it. I'm like, Whitney, please, and she's like, it's just so slow in America to get it to the UK,
Yeah.
but I'll send you links and we can sort something out.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Whitney, you will have a UK girl that will give you a honest opinion that it's supposed to taste just like lemonade in water. Once you stir it, turn it upside down. I've watched everything on this new gut health straw. And I mean, like, who likes taking pills all the time?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't.
I don't.
The straw is an amazing idea.
Yep.
So fucking amazing that it's gonna go well. So once the FDA or whatever in the US make it really available in the UK. I mean, it's not against the law to go to America and buy these things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so, because, my friends go to America and buy different things all the time.
But the
And
thing is, though, if you get able to do a review, I think the difference between you doing a review and anybody else is If people check the professionalism that you have, right? Like, look at your resume, look what you've done, and the accolades that you've already accomplished. I don't think that, like, if I do a review, it's just kind of like urban, right? It's kind of me talking like this or whatever. Where you have the whole blueprint of how to break down is like a professionalism that people like myself don't have, right? Like, I just go and I talk my shit and it is what it is. But you have a professionalism that you've done this for so long at the level you've done it for. I don't think that anyone else that would do that kind of review would have what you bring to that table, you know?
You put me on this high pedestal, Rob, and I've just hustled for 14 years
That's my point.
in the MMA world. Started, the Drake song started from the bottom. That
Yep.
is exactly me. You know, I started from the bottom, from absolutely nothing. I knew the sport. Yeah, I've done everything in the
Yep.
sport, you know. So, but I really do thank you for like giving me the props and the accolades. It's not heard enough from for a female, especially a female eh, in this world and in this sport.
See, the part I think I struggle with, right? Like, well, all right, like we were just talking BKFC, and we talked about Borga and Ferrea, right? Anyone that watched that event knew that was the real main event, right? Like, and if you look at their press conferences and the buildup, they sold their fight, right? Where none of those guys had me. I could care less. I like Kamosi, I do, but
I
his
love
fight, his fight, I was like, all right, it's. I hope I hope he wins. I'm a fan. It's cool, but none of them sold their fight like them. And then when you watch that fight, it lived up to everything you expected and more, right? So you go, once again, the ladies go on a card. You don't put them at the top. It's the same thing in Dubai when Jessica Borga knocked out that girl, and then you had Ty Emery versus Bret Hart. The two women have the two best fights on both days. You go, okay, they both sold their fights, they both promoted their fights better than all the men. But because they're women, people go, oh, well, they're just women. Are you crazy? Like, and we always say this all the time. The women, they don't just go in there and size each other up like the men do. No,
Satan.
it's as soon as ding, they're just going at it, right? And you're like, well, damn, like there's a that comes with this, but people don't want to give them their props because they're they're a female, right? And let's just be honest. It's like it's 2025, and we want to sit there and go, oh well, she's a girl, so whatever. All right, well, listen, if you put an average chick at my weight class and put us in a dark alley, I know what I'll do to them. But then put a girl at my weight class that actually, like, say, like a Bret Hart or Fiera, all right, they're gonna walk out dragging me out like a sucker. You know what I mean? Like, these girls are no joke. They'll beat the shit out of a lot because they're women. Nobody wants to give them their credit.
Talking of Bret and Hart, which I know your team, Bret,
I am biased
your
as shit.
Insta is full every day of Team Bret. I don't know why I put it up on my Instagram today because I've been so fucking busy with other stuff. But when I checked, like, to see if we were still doing our
Yeah.
podcast, um, she had liked and put something on the Instagram that I had put up, and I'm like, oh my god, I got a reply from Bret Hart because she is another woman that I actually admire too. She is amazing. You know, um, so yeah, I haven't cleared like all my Insta like replies of of everything, but I did what when I saw Brett, I was like, what the fuck? You know, but to me, the best thing was yesterday that Christine Ferrea followed me for reasons I do not know. I'm so grateful, but I think, you know, I've spoke, you know, message with Jules
Yeah.
over 6 years ago before Bkfc become anything. And like I was just looking for females to interview, and Jules was like, I've got a stack of females, you know, so it's props to Jules because she's a matchmaker on Bkfc, you know, and a lot of people do not know that.
Yeah. It's I don't know who they think it is, but let me tell you something. You see who really is making moves in this company.
Yeah, Joe, and I'm not saying that because I'm female, but it's the females, you know. The men that matches the men's fight, amazing. But Jules should get fucking credit for all the years, even more than my years and my props, for doing what she has been doing. You know, I don't see anywhere that people have wrote or put on social media that Jules is phenomenal and she's a matchmaker for BKFC, for which is an idea I'm going to DM her after Rome and say, please, can I have an interview? I'd love to write about you and put you in the spotlight you deserve.
Absolutely.
I know that she really doesn't like to be in the spotlight. She loves to do all the filming
Yeah.
with Christine and everything, you know. But Jules, please, if I DM you, would you please grant me the interview and let the world know who you are, what you do, and you're fabulous at doing it. The world needs to know.
And it's I get so a lot of people. This can be tough, right, to talk to people. Some people like to not have their life out there like that, and I get that, right?
Yeah.
But I think like let's say they're not trying to fight, right? Let's say they love the sport and they don't know how to navigate into getting into these positions where they could jump into the thing that. And I think that someone like her, and if you ask the right questions, and the next group of girls who grow up can have a blueprint of saying, well, I want to be like her. I want to be able to put on the best shows because I love this and this is what I'm so passionate about. And I think that women like her can open the doors up for the future women who are trying to get into this industry, because a lot of women aren't allowed like that. And I think that if the right women who know how to work hard and put all the time in and they love it and they're passionate, if they had just a little bit of insight, it could take them to that next level of progressing their careers. And I think that she's the perfect person that would be able to do that.
Yeah, that's like me being in this industry and me saying to you, like last time, saying, okay, I wanted to find out who Charlie was
Yeah.
because, I want to get on a press list. I want to get press passes. Talking of press passes, I've got a
Yeah.
media pass for next week for Jack Marshman's retirement fight.
Insane.
Um,
Insane.
so, for me, I just do a lot of work on digging on social media. But I think, Jules, Jules deserves to have a little spotlight on her. What she shares is totally up to her.
Yep.
I can ask her questions and she can say, I don't want to answer that. And that's
Yeah.
absolutely cool with me. I'm not a person to pressure people, if people see my work and all my written work and in the magazines and in Fighters Only and you know I am not that person.
No.
No, I totally get where people are coming from. So, you know, it's kind of, I'd say, easy to write unless you got writer's block, you know?
Emma, it's not. It's easy for you to write, and this is not trying to kiss your ass or nothing. It's easy for you to write because you understand the sport, right? Like uh, for me, if I don't jump into it, like say I'm still broadcasting for Bkfc and Ice Wars, right? I'm like 6.5 months, 7 months, whatever. Someone like you who has so much experience, when that's your hand, you're already writing, right? You're somehow your hand is reading your brain, but faster than you're even thinking. So you're just going because you know what you're doing and present it and how you want to showcase somebody and put somebody in a light where you do all the right steps. Where I think that's where we need more people like you because anyone can do this, but we need the right people to do this, right? Like, and this is why I tell people when they go, "Oh, well, some guys you haven't interviewed," and I go, "Well, a lot of them I don't want to," and it's not me disrespecting their work or anything, but if I feel like I can't connect with you, then it's really not my game. Where someone like you, I could throw you into a room full of 100 fighters, and somehow you'll be able to great pieces, right, on all these fighters. Where with me, if you ain't from where I'm from, I really just I don't know what to ask. And that's the professionalism you have that I'm telling you, 99% of people who jump on this don't have.
I'll take that, but to be honest, a female in with 100 males are going to look at me and usually go, girlfriend of a fighter, ring girl,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like until I take out my business card and, you know, go, oh, but I freelance for Fighters Only. You know, I've had stuff in other, you know, it's totally up to them if they like Charles Rosa, right? I was so impressed with Charles Rosa because you and I were saying, okay, he's a great fighter, great UFC fighter. He can punch, but what can you do on skates? It was amazing. That knockout, do you not think?
So okay, I'm a little I'm on the fence with the fight because because he I don't think there was much skating involved. I don't think that we seen and to his credit, we didn't need to. I think he bulldogged him, which was smart, right? Like he understood he's not one of the strongest skaters. I'm gonna come right at you. And even with that though, is when you watch Ice Wars, even guys who played the sport, it was them sloppy fights, right? People were falling over before they even really got hit. They didn't able to stand there. You know, edge well and Rosa never took a stumble like that. So I give him a lot of credit. Um, I'm I'm still super biased for Reed. I love Reed. I think he's a great guy. Uh, but Rosa did show out. He did come in, do what he said he was going to do, and now it's who do you have lined up for me next? And I think that we got to get a guy from like the LNAH who has a lot of fights under his belt because Rosa, like I tell people, I wouldn't call him a legend, right? Because
Yeah.
legends are the cream of the crop, right? Like when I think legends, I think of like the Ken Shamrocks, Frank
Edson
Mir,
Barboza.
huh?
Edson Barboza.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, you can keep going back, but like a John Jones and these guys who their legacies and wins and where Rosa was a good fighter, and to his credit, he lasted in the UFC for years. If he was a bum, he would have been in and out, but he wasn't. He did his thing, got paid, jumped into here. But I want to see him fight somebody who has a bunch of fights under their record. and going forward because, like I said, I like what he did. He was smart.
Yeah.
And he bulldogged them, and all to his credit. I'm wrong.
You and I talked about it's your core muscles. So, and Ice Wars is not really about skating. It's about, like V said, just holding on and punching. Her words exactly. Just holding on to that chair and just going for it.
Yep.
That is what is. What impressed me was Nick Laporte because of the size difference.
Whew.
There
That
was
was crazy.
huge. I mean, I'm a Nick Laporte fan. I'm still trying to get this bloody interview with him, right? He's done loads. He's still not done one with me or us, But the size difference. Was he against Dozer? Was it Dozer?
No. Nick went against Sebastian Lapierre.
But the size, I mean, when they weighed in, I was like, what the fuck? Who allows this? Right? And I was like,
I think Nick came in at 230. I think Nick was at 230.
I think it was a bit less actually, and the other guy was like 264.
I think it was closer to 280.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was a huge difference.
There was so much. And I was like, oh my gosh, this so looks like a mismatch.
Yeah.
But Nick pulled it out of the bag like he did.
And to his credit, Nick has admitted that fight was sloppy for him. He said it. Those aren't my words. Nick just came out and said, look, I fought a sloppy fight. And not for nothing, the guy he fought, Sebastian Lapierre, Laffy, he has 500 professional fights in ice hockey, right?
Oh, I remember you saying.
Dude, that's incredible. So he fights him. He comes out with the dub, and you're like, well, shit, you had a bad fight, and you still won. Like,
yeah, I've seen the social media that Nick has said that, like, he will be better in his next fight, and that's his own words. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Also, we got to talk about Will Laporte as well.
My God.
I just so love the Laporte twins. What else is there? I do have to watch the show Shoresy. Have you watched it?
Yes.
Can you get into it? Do you like it?
So at first it took me a little, right? Like I gotta show love to my man Darren of the Fourth Line Voice. When I was about to jump into Ice Wars, he kind of reached out to me. He was a big ice follower. He knows all the fighters, played hockey at a high level. So he started talking to me and breaking down and giving me information of fighters. And then he was like, hey, if you're gonna start interviewing some of these guys, some of them are on the show Shoresy. And I'm like, well, how do you find that? So he's like, I think it's on Netflix. Started giving me all the information. This guy's this guy's that. They've all done Ice Wars. And Nick on Shoresy. Okay. So he's got the whole gorgeous nickname. Gorgeous Laporte, right?
Gorgeous, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, right? Like, so I mean, listen, I'm a guy, no Diddy. He's a good looking guy. He's like 6 foot something. He's all ripped up. Like, he's a good looking dude. I don't know if I believe that. I don't think he thinks like he's the muy macho. I don't think he's Papi Chulo in his head, right? Like, I think he just knows he's a bad dude and women love him. But I think that character, I think, is a little elevated. Like, if he thinks he's the hottest dude that ever lived, you know what I mean? Like, so the guy I talk to is always humble and cool. The character on that show, I think, is an elevated version, like a manifestation.
It's a tongue-in-cheek show, though, isn't it?
Because I like it. It's cool.
I'm in the UK, and I should never ever have heard of Shawsey. Never ever, because we don't in the UK, but because of Nick Laporte and because of Bkfc, I'm like, I'm gonna watch Shawsey now. That's why I said to you, can you know, in the beginning, can you get into it and stuff? Because at the moment, I'm finding it a little hard to get into it. You know?
Yeah. It took a little bit, right? Like, but knowing that I was gonna talk this stuff, I was like, you know what? If a lot of the guys have a hand in it, if they're directing, if they're acting, I was like, let me kind of see where their mindset is at. So if I ever talk to these guys, I kind of have a lay of the land of how they're moving and how they're comfortable. With Nick feels like he's from where I'm from. He's not, like, but we talk about Mobb Deep, we talk about like where I'm from, and he kind of feels like he has that same ideology as me on a lot of things. So we kind of clicked. Will seems like the quiet assassin, right? But when you talk to these guys, if they just feel like normal, I don't know, like they don't feel like Canadians or they don't feel like Americans. They just feel like your friends, right? Like, so it was kind of weird that they didn't feel like a specific area. And I think that I kind of came up the same way. It's kind of like you. When I talk to you, I don't feel like Emma from the UK. You just feel like Emma the homie. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a level to them that they just come across as just some real cool hockey guys that like to fight, right? Like, it's just wild because the Laportes are 5-0, and they're technically the villains of Ice Wars. There's a lot of people that don't like them.
I don't know why, because I don't know if Nick Laporte is single, and if he wants to mingle with a UK gal.
Hey,
I'm your girl. Seriously. No, I definitely won't get an interview. I'm telling you.
Listen, with Nick, I think that, and like I said, I think that if you put Nick in a room, I think the women are gonna look, right, because it's gonna be like, damn, who is this good-looking guy? Um, it's just the way it is. So listen, Nick, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You don't bite. So get that interview. Don't be a chump.
No, I am not. I'm not scared at all, but I am conscious of the amount of messages I send him. Some go unread forever, and then some that I put on my Insta, he will put a heart to, or he will like, and I'm thinking, I've asked you a question further up. Can you please, just answer it? He's promised an interview with me. That's fine. I understand that, I actually forget that they're Canadian, not American.
Yeah.
So, him going to Florida and stuff and training for the last fight, I'm like, okay, where are you in the actual world? Are you in Canada? Are you in America? There's just so much to Nick that I would love to know, but it's a bit hard nailing him down.
You know what it is too? Like, with the Laportes, and I know it has nothing to do with you. And because to be honest, they've done a few interviews with like these terrible podcasts. Like they fucking suck. And it's not me acting like I'm the shit, because like I said, when I interview people, it's kind of my direction with them, right? Because I'm reaching to you because I want to speak to you and pick your brain on things. Where a lot of these people that they've done interviews with, they've never played sports in their life and they've never ever been in a fight in their life. And you could see the level of not understanding anything. Like, and you're like, damn, why don't you talk whatever you know? Or if you're going to do this, do a lot of research on the fighter you're going to do so you don't come off sounding stupid. Another guy Anthony Mendoza, love Dozier, cool guy. He
Yeah.
did an interview with a guy, and the guy said, "Oh, what was it like changing from offense to defense?" And Dozier was like, "I've never played anything but goalie before. I've never been an offense or defensive guy. You didn't even do enough homework to know his position he played in the sport. Terrible."
Oh my God, I do so much research and I go down rabbit holes. I find things that people have never asked before,
Yep.
and I will ask. And it's like we discussed before, back in the MMA world, I've done and trained in sports of boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, MMA. So I know what I'm talking about. As with Ice Wars, like I said to you, Youngblood, the film, Rob Lowe, that's all I need to say. Got me into ice hockey. And
Yep.
I'm in the UK. I understand what an enforcer is. It's like I was speaking to my friend today that I went out for lunch with. And I said, ice hockey. She went, yeah. Because the enforcers. And she went, no. I went, the ones that come in to fight.
Yeah.
She's a professional boxer on a
Oh wow.
high level too, right? My best friend. And I'm not digging a hole of her for nothing. It's ice hockey. Maybe it's not her thing.
Exactly.
So, but I'm like the enforcer. It's the one that comes in to start the shit. And that's what I love about ice hockey. So I can switch up.
Be- yeah, but the thing is, um, let me bring it back.
Bring me back, boy. There
There
I
we
am.
go. I was gonna say we lost it for a second.
We did. I was saying I can switch from MMA to Bkfc Ice Wars and Bkfc.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, what have we talked about tonight? It's been a general everything, and I've got nothing written down. I have not researched anything because I've been out. I've been so busy.
You
It's
know,
just the stuff that I
you
know.
know, you know what though, Emma? Like, I think this is the fun part about you because the first time we did a show, we didn't write. It was nothing. No itinerary. We just went in, and I was like, "Yo, she's so chill that there's a vibe that I mess with her, right?" Like, and we're at 42 minutes 53 seconds. We've talked Ice Wars, BKFC, some UFC. Just in the lay of the land, we're just speaking, and there is a level of intelligence to this. Um, and for your friend not to know what an enforcer is, that's fine because like you said, it might not be her thing.
Yeah.
Uh, and I tell people all the time, like, and God bless his dead. My brother's here. He flew in. We were talking about back days playing football, and when me and him played, me and him were the stars of the defense. We played corner. I had
Are,
a bad day. Huh?
are you on about like NFL football or England soccer?
NFL style, like not soccer. My fault.
No, no,
So
no. I was just trying to
yeah,
guess which one we were on about.
yeah. No, that was my bad. So I woke up in a bad mood that day, right? Random, just woke up in a bad mood, young, dumb, stupid. And I'm telling my guy Albie, God bless his dead. I'm like, yo, Albie, I'm gonna fuck somebody up today. And he was like, no, you're too important. We got to finish this game. What number? And I said, what number? What? He said, what number do you want me to hit? I just looked across the field, picked the guy's number, that guy. Now I didn't have a problem with the guy. I was like, what is he gonna do? Guy ran across the middle, laid him out, gets kicked out. He's like, feel better? I'm like, I do. And he was like, that's what my job is as an enforcer. I was like, whoa. I was like, yo, can I pick anybody's number? He was like, you point people out, I'll take them out. And that's what the enforcers do. Ice
That
Wars is that.
like you said, that's exactly the same in the NFL. You have those people
Yo,
that are just purely in there to take the other player out.
Absolutely.
And the only reason I know that, right, I was headhunted to write about NFL. And I told him, you got the wrong person. And this is a few years ago. I said, you got the wrong person. I know nothing about NFL. I'm an MMA girl. And they went, we know that, but we want you. And I was like, okay, I'll have a look at NFL. I'll start watching it here. And then I found out there's like 53 players on a team.
Yep.
See? Right?
Yeah.
I did
You
a
have to
little,
make the 53-man roster. See,
yeah.
Emma, stop. This is why I say what I say. Then you go, I don't know why you give me all these accolades. Every time I turn around, you do some fire shit.
Well, I did turn them down because I'm a person that, like, if I don't believe that I truly understand it, I don't want to put my work out there to be criticized because it's criticized enough. So I actually turned it down. But I did learn that there was a 53-man roster, like you said, and I was like, what the fuck? But on the back of that, I learned a lot about NFL by watching the show called All American.
Yes, the high school kid that was doing this thing. Absolutely.
And that I learned so much more about NFL. Watching that program, because it was like, it's a sweet program, let's say, it's probably made for teens and older teens, but it's something I love to watch, and I gained more knowledge on NFL, hence why I can talk a little about it with you. And that's American stuff. I mean, NFL's over here at the moment, isn't it? It's in London. I totally miss that. So, but yeah, they're over here. The actual some teams, the Jaguars, and I think I caught Jaguars yesterday, and someone else at London.
Yep. It's wild because, like, I grew up playing football and basketball. Those are the sports that I played at a high level. My kids, they fell in love with soccer. And it's weird because they are American, but they'll call that football, right? And they'll mess with me and be like, oh, you guys played that American football, right? And I'm like, all right, you act like you're not born here, but whatever. My oldest, he's a Chelsea fan. You're an Arsenal fan. All right. So, yeah, my oldest is Chelsea. My youngest is Arsenal. Emma is anti both of you. Um, so I wind up, like, I was trying to get into it because they're my kids, right? So I'm like, oh, if they like soccer, let me try to figure this out. So being half German, I was like, I like Thomas Muller. So I just went to FC Bayern Munich, right? I'm like, oh, he plays there and whatever.
It's good.
And when I sat down, watched like the beginning of the game because my son loved Ian Hazard, and he was like, I don't think you understand what soccer is. And I'm like, I mean, they kick a football, right? Kick a ball. He's like, no, it's chess. Because if you look, every position moves, knowing that the person behind them is playing defense. So everything is a strategy. Every time they go up to the strategy, it's not just run and gun. And when they started to break down the game, I was like, oh man, this is wild, right? Like, I'm the typical American where we heard of, Pele and David Beckham, and that was like it, and then when the World Cup comes, oh, whatever your country is, you celebrate. Getting into it, I was like, this is crazy. And then Ian Hazard's brother's name is Thorgan. And I was like, yo, he sounds like a man's man, like Thorgan Hazard. Like, if you give him a sword, he's just slaying people. You know what I mean? I'm like, this guy's awesome. So I started to get into soccer, and I'm like, yo, the level of cardio these guys have, the athleticism, the field vision, like it's just insane. And obviously people here will be like, "Oh, it's soccer, it sucks." All right, well, pay attention for a little while and see how amazing these athletes are.
They're always playing the ball 2 steps ahead, like you
Yep.
said. In chess, you're already 2, 3 steps ahead before you make your move.
Emma, are you a chess player too?
I used to play it in junior.
Oh my God! What don't you do?
I know. I told you I'm a sports person through and through. I actually used to do gymnastics. First competition I entered, I won the gold medal. 11 years old. And I was with older people. I love sport. Let's just say, and also tell your kids they need to support Man City. It's Man City or no one.
She said you got to get down with some Man City. He said, "We'll see."
And they've won what, the Champions League 3, 4 times in a row. No other club has come close. And I'm sorry, but I can watch football now and then because my son supports Man City.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like Man City. When I was growing up, I loved Man United. I loved Beckham on the wing and Lee Sharp on the other wing. See, I could talk football too.
So, did you like David Beckham for his soccer or because he was good looking?
Soccer.
Okay, because I mean,
I also, my first tattoo is a red devil on my shoulder. And that's what Man United is, a red devil. It wasn't to symbolize Man United, by the way. It was just because I am a little devil. that was truly the only reason. But yeah, and basketball, right? I could probably talk that because I loved the series One Tree Hill.
Okay, that I've never watched, right? Like, well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm okay. So I'm big into like gangster stuff, like like Power and Scarface and Belly. So those are like my kind of things.
EMF.
Oh my, yo, Emma, stop! What are we doing here? Like, how the Emma, you do everything, right? Like, so yeah, absolutely. BMF, all that. Like, those are all my shows that I watch, and the one that I'm in love with, and I'm a big Tom Hardy fan, is Mobland, and that's where you guys are from. And I'm telling you, Mobland is my ish. Like, I didn't even know.
I haven't actually watched that, so I will watch that. I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan. He's awesome. But also with basketball, the series Amateur that Ice Cube's son
Yup.
was in. 2 seasons, I think we had of it.
Yep.
And then there was an actual film called Amateur that was based on a true life teen. So
Absolutely.
I've watched basketball.
You see, Emma, like this is what I'm saying, which was like you're like, that saying, I think it's like the jack of all trades, but people say master of none. You're like a jack of all trades, master of all. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing you don't do. You know what I'm saying? You're like the 5-tool player. You literally got it all.
Yeah, I can sit there in a room and guys can just talk about, what I shouldn't understand or know, just like you were surprised with BMF. And I would be sitting there and I'm the person that would just chip in anybody's conversation if I know what they're talking about. It's I'm sorry, I'm just wired that way.
Listen, there's like I said, there's levels to this shit, right? Like, and I think that it's so cool because there's a genuineness to you. I think that people might see something and go, "Oh, these guys playing gimmicks." No, this is me. This is you. There's no gimmicks. It's just how we talk. But like the the way you move, like I try to tell people, yo, Ember's a different vibe. Like it's not like I gotta sit back here and kind of dial myself back, like, oh, I'm talking to a girl. No, Emma's a vibe. Like you could talk to her as comfortable, just have some fucking respect. You have respect, it goes a long way. But you could literally talk like this. We came in with nothing. Like, crazy shit. We pushed it back because it was crazy trying to get on this today. And as soon as we get on, it's bam, 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 bam. And it's
Yeah.
just a natural flow. And it's real easy when you partner up with someone like you, because it's like it's so relaxed, so chill that y'all can just bounce off and it makes moves. Even though Emma tried to play me, I'm gonna tell you that now.
Did
I
I?
was telling Emma because we were talking about a girl that we were trying to get on here. So I said, "Yo, Emma," I said, "This girl's wild, right?" So I said, I went through her Twitter. I said, "I'm gonna take the first shots, right?" Emma tried on the DMs. Emma was like, "Yo, you were searching hard for these pictures." When I sent the pictures, I was like, "Yo, here," and then you went to her Instagram. And I'm like, I don't have her on Instagram, right? So now I look like a perv or something. And I'm like, yo, Emma, I swear to God, if you just slide over to Twitter that I use, like Emma got me on that one.
Yeah, Instagram. I mean, Twitter, you can get a lot away with, a lot more. Um, I haven't been on Twitter for a while because I prefer Instagram
I do
and,
too.
and TikTok. TikTok, you can get a lot of information from, and also, like we discussed in our first ever meet that
Yep.
wasn't supposed to be recorded. OnlyFans,
Yep.
OnlyFans, and that's not being perverted. That's not
Nope.
looking at girls or men that want to sell what they want to sell from their bodies, or
Yep.
it has, like we've said, professionals, PFL companies. It's a lot more bigger. I'm such an advocate for OnlyFans.
And you know what? I got to give you credit because one of my boys, he's a professional wrestler. So he was like, "Yo," he asked me the other day, I heard you talked about something with OnlyFans. I said, I don't talk about OnlyFans. He said, "Oh, one of my guys was saying you did with some girl." I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, 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 yeah. I'll send it to you." So he was like, "Is that true?" I'm like, "Did you watch it?" We kind of talk about it. Like she broke it down, and I was talking about that. I did my own little homework. Yeah, it's facts. So he went out, made an OnlyFans account, but it had nothing to do with any kind of adult content or nothing like that. And money, and has more people looking at his content through his workouts, how he diets, but he's showing his meal preps of what he's putting in the blender. So people like, oh snap, like I know how to do that now. Thank you. And all that came from a normal conversation of me and you just shooting the shit. And he jumped on and was like, yo, like you guys have this dope shit because I think a lot of people are afraid to put their name or logo to that because of the stigma people think. And I'm like, stigma, whatever, but there are professional companies that use this as a platform to get their stuff out there. It's just people want to think one sided. They don't want to see
Yeah.
anything else.
And that's why I tried to push OnlyFans,
Yep.
for that content. Tell him I'll take 10% of his earnings for that.
You know what? I'm gonna tell him he better follow you. I'm like, yo, you better give Emma a follow.
He better. And and I've still got no DM saying I'm hot. I like you.
You're bugging. There's no way. Yo, Emma. All right. So I think at this point I had four. Right now it's weird for me. I'm not gonna lie to you because one of them I knew the guy. I was like, he was like, yo, that girl you been talking. I'm like, All right, like you could have just said that in the comments normally so she could see it. He's like, nah, I don't know. I don't want to make her uncomfortable with you. I'm like, I didn't say shit. Like, if you want to say something, that's you. Like, I didn't say, oh, she's the baddest chick I ever talked to. I said nothing. You're the one who said something. So that one was kind of like, all right, cool, homie talk, right? It was like, whatever. Then there was like a random guy when we did the Jack Marshall. That was a little wild to me because the guy's like, yo, is that your wife? I'm like, well, I'd be kind of hard to have that kind of long relationship where I never go and see her, right? And we kind of talk, bro. He goes, no, I'm asking because I don't know who she is to you. And I'm like, but who are you? Like, I don't know who you are. And he's like, that's not your lady. I said, nah, she's just a homie. She's cool. He's like, yo, she's kind of fucking hot. And I'm like, bro, why are we having this conversation? I don't know you. He's like, I'm just saying, like, I think she has a nice body. I think she's good looking. I said, slide in her DMs. Why are you talking to me? Like, and then there's two other dudes who were like, yo, your co-host, she's kind of a baddie. And I'm like, yo, it's me about Emma. Slide into your see this? Don't jump into my DMs. Slide into Emma's DMs.
I said this last time, guys, just, slide into my DMs. And if you're my cup of tea, I'll respond. But if you're not, then you're not. It's, it's all part of life. But also, like, the comments on the YouTube, like I said about that, when someone said, please, for you to read out the names. And I'm like, and I just put something back going, I actually asked for that with laughing emojis because I know that it's it's a downfall kind of, but I know that I cannot pronounce a lot of names. So
Emma, I'm not gonna let you say that. I'm not gonna give you that one. It is not a crutch, it is not a negative. Because what I do, and I'm going to explain to you how bad I am with names. If you have a tough last name, I'm never going to say it. I'm going to call you by your first name. If your first name is jacked up and your last name is Joe, I'm only going to say Joe because I can't pronounce 90% of people's name. Damn, yo, you never say people's full name. No, because I don't know how to say it. Y'all got some weird names. And Emma didn't say shit bad. She tried to. Y'all shouldn't have these fucked up names. If we can't pronounce it, that's their problem. They got the fucked up names.
Yeah, I do that a lot in interviews too. It's like I was interviewing Brandon Royval for his title fight with Alexander Panjota. And at the time, I could not pronounce Panjota. It took me months to learn that it was Panjota. And I said to Brandon in our interview, can we just call him Alex? And he's like, yeah, sure. Because, I am just that. I'm just like, if I can't do it, it's nothing mean and it's nothing hard.
No.
It's just, can we just call him Alex? Because at the moment, Panjota is actually really easy to pronounce. You actually get to know it. And I don't know why, for some reason, with that interview with Brandon Royval, I could not pronounce Panjota.
That's crazy.
We'll just call him Alex. And I remember that clearly. It was, the actual video didn't go out with this conversation.
Yeah.
Because it was a written article for Fighters Only I was doing. So, I have a lot of video content of all these fighters I've interviewed, but it hasn't come to surface in the social media world because it's been in a written format for, like Fighters Only.
Yeah.
So, but I can release certain little clips, like, you know, Lerone Murphy, like when he got shot in the face, you know, and his first nickname that people didn't know, because he's now called the Miracle, when he was actually called the Iceman. And actually, right, in our interview, I went, "Can I call you, what was that, like, Iceman? Oh, so you're cool as ice then." I was really, really cheesy with it, right? But when I put the clip out, I cut me out of it, because I thought that is it's so fucking cheesy. But he actually knew it. He loved it. You know, he went, "That's me. I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
cool, calm, and calculated." Is exactly what he said. It's on my TikTok and my Instagram. You know, just you know, the clips that people like, you know, like to clip and put
yep.
out as viral. I have so much of it, but I just don't have the time at the moment to do it. Well, I have just bought a brand new PC, back, you know, like old school, because I couldn't get on with my laptop, which is actually an Apple Air Mac, which people would die for. And I'm not an Apple person. I'm an Android person. So give me an old school computer any day. So the computer arrived today, and I'm just in the process of setting it up. And I think there'd be so much more content that will come out of this
Hell
uh,
yeah.
for us both as well. You
Yep.
know, we there'd just be so much more. But yeah, I took out the bit me saying, "Oh, so are you cold as ice?" And I actually sang it. I sang it like that to him. But on the clip, we can keep it in this one. But on the clip with him, I cut myself out, because I was like, "That's cringe." But it's a funny story to
It
tell
is.
the whole the whole thing, that you know, I cut my bit out, and he put, "Yeah, that's it." So after I sang that little bit, he went, "Yeah, that's it." But I cut me out, and it actually it flows well. But me singing, I'm not going to do it again. You know, the Cool as Ice song. You know, I can have fun with these people, and that's what I want. I want more podcasts with nothing hard hitting, with fun stuff. I was on Chat GPT like last month, and I put in, like, "Give me the most wild, wacky questions you can ever ask a UFC fighter." I have like at least 50 questions that are wild and wacky, that I'm just waiting for someone to do my new podcast with, you know, iconics, which I called Iconic Sports Show, because the word this year that's been used so much is that's iconic.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, you must have heard it. It's
Oh yeah.
so I thought 6 months ago I'm going to capitalize on that. I put it on my Insta. I got a logo made, you know, and you know, over time, lots of time has happened. I'm just looking for people to interview with so much fun content, so I can bring also their personality
And
out,
that's what it's about.
which people don't see, because they only see the training, they only see the fighting, they
Yep.
don't see the actual person. And that's what I want to get into, you know.
That's that's what I think a lot of the game is missing. I think a lot of people, it's everything is a lead up, right? It's, oh, how you training for this fight or how you do this. No, man, ask them what their cheat meals are. Ask them what they like watching. You know, like get a little
I
more
do that.
intimate with it. You know what I'm saying? Like let them just have some fun with you. And if people don't like it, then go 17 interviews they do, and it's all the same questions. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have fun with it, or what's the point of us doing this type of stuff?
Do you know what? Chat GPT gave me so many funny questions to ask, and I'm just dying to have the first person. So let's get V on.
V gotta get on. V gotta get on, and it's
Well,
crazy because she's got a nickname, and I don't even know if she said it yet. She didn't say it on. Did she say it on mine? Shit, I don't remember. Don't matter. So her nickname is Vicious, right? I think she said it. Um, we sat here, we done a bunch of logos. I just haven't had time to email it to her. But it's tough because she's a girl, and I wanted something to be kind of girly, and she's been kind of like, no, make me something like really badass, because the girly thing is cool, but how I get down is not really girly in the fight. And I'm like, all right, cool. Glad you said get V on, because I got to send it to her. But like I said, we'll both reach out to V. Slide into her DM. She's mad chill, like she's mad cool, and make it around your time. So where it's real easy for me to figure out. All right, it's later on the day. Who cares? I'll make it happen. I know she likes doing things super early and push it back. You know what I mean? Like, V, don't try to take advantage of this. We're gonna get you on, and you're gonna fucking come on, and we're gonna have a lot of fun, because you have not been interviewed yet. Like, she'll interview you, and I'm gonna say that now because I watched a lot of her interviews, and they're kind of like, all right, they're all right.
I've seen a lot, and it's been a lot of the same questions, like from the guys, and she plays her part really, really well in giving, everybody her full attention and giving answers that she likes. I mean, I didn't know that her father was like a US hockey coach. And from the ages of 2, her and her
Yep.
brother were on skates, and I saw that in an interview. And I'm like, that's pretty dope. That is really cool. The thing that, like I said, I want a light-hearted interview with fun, wild questions. What I do is, like, I'll DM the fighter first, and I will say, look, this is how I want it to go. Is it something that you're interested in, or is it something rather that you're not? So they know from the beginning what kind of thing to expect ish. I don't want to just like
Yep.
jump on and go with a wild wacky question, and they be going, she's a bit unprofessional, so I do like to give them a
I
heads up.
think that, see, but I think this is where, yeah, that's all. I think with you sliding into the DMs, you could kind of give her this is the blueprint of how I really want to have some fun, and is that cool? Because V's an open book. Like, like I said, there was a few questions I asked, and she was like, "Nah, I get busy," and I'm like, "Oh, damn!" Like, yeah, I feel like you come from where I come from. You know what I mean? So she's easy. Like, and you'll never ask her
Yeah.
something disrespectful. That's not your style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I said, ChatGPT has been my friend like for a few months, and I've screenshotted all these wild questions, and I'm gonna write them out when I get the interview. And like I said, with the new podcast, Iconic Sports Show, I'll have you on and with V, so we do it for my first episode on my podcast.
Absolutely.
And I can ask you the wild, wacky, absolutely crazy questions.
Amber, I'm an open book. Whatever you want to ask, ask.
It's not gonna be, a below the belt, questions.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, wild and wacky. And, you know, that's why I called it Iconic Sports Show. Because, you know, you can have an interview like a normal interview about, you know, her rise to Bkfc iced, you know, her growing up, like I just said, from 2 years old, she was in skates with her brother. And then we say, okay, we're coming to the fun bit now. Let's do the sports show bit. Yeah, you know, it's all, it's actually not planned out. I'm just saying this as we're going because the more we talk, the more I'm just like, we can do it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, that's what I tell people all the time. Emma brings a style that I don't think a lot of people have. There's an entertainment value of it, but at the same time, the knowledge you have is priceless. Kind of one of those like those credit card commercials, like this, and then they go, yo, what's that commercial, Dave, where the credit card is priceless? No clue. Thanks for fucking making me look like a chump. So the
It's
credit
like,
card.
if Carlsberg did, like in the UK, we used to have, if Carlsberg did this, it would be great, kind of thing. And they have,
So exactly, and it's like it's priceless. You know, you bring. You know what I mean? Listen, it's 4:32 on my side. I know it's super late on her side. Have to get up. I gotta get ready to.
You know, I've got to be at a MMA event at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning and be there all day and all night because I'm documenting a amateur female fighter for the first time. It's something new I'm trialing.
Emma, why are we still on? You got to be up early.
It's fine, you know. The clocks go back in the UK. By the way, the clocks go back in the UK Saturday midnight. So I get an extra hour in bed on Sunday. I really fucking need, by the way. You know, I don't mind. This weekend is just full on. And I made extra time that we could do this because I always look forward to our chats on a Friday.
Absolutely.
Nothing is scripted. We don't text each other and say, okay, we want to talk about this, and this. I think we just started off and it flowed. There's no silences, you know?
No, and I think that's the dope, and I've said this, like, yo, it's so chill, like, and I don't think people will ever understand because a lot of people do the itineraries, right? Oh, we're gonna first, second, third, fourth. No, man, we just go in, talk some shit, and have some fun. But I'm not gonna hold you here because you need some rest. I won't be the guy to get you not to have your beauty sleep because listen, I'm married to a woman, and if she don't get her beauty sleep, I really don't feel comfortable dealing with her the next day because she's gonna feel kind of ornery. So you're gonna be super busy. Iconics is coming. I'm telling you, you're gonna love that because Emma's gonna bring something y'all ain't never seen before.
And on Sunday, when I have a lie-in in bed, I will answer all my IGs with V and get her on so we can have some fun.
There you go. Listen, busy lady of the weekend because her day is about to be crazy in a few hours. We out of here. Deuces.